Good evening, Jumbo Shrimp fans. This is Bo Jackson. And first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming out this evening to sample some of Chef Ernest's famous cooking. And this evening, he'll be doing it with some of my steak sliders. I know this is a trying time for everyone with the virus going on, but let's try to enjoy ourselves this evening. Let's eat some great food. Let's continue to practice social distancing, because if we do what we're supposed to today by staying apart, we can be together tomorrow and we can get the baseball season off and going and enjoying ourselves and having a good time. Again, thank you for coming out this evening. Enjoy some food. I'm quite sure that Chef Ernest will take care of you. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Bo, for that wonderful introduction. Bo is a good partner of ours. I want to say a friend of the company. I met him a couple years ago in Fort Lauderdale, and ever since then we started with the shrimp sliders, and now we want to introduce these baseball cut steaks. A lot of people say, "What's a baseball cut steak?" A baseball cut steak is a top round, top sirloin, I should say, and if you look at it, it's kind of shaped like a baseball. The more you cook it, it puffs up, and you see it's that perfect shape like a baseball. So we thought, and what a great analogy to have as a baseball part. So today I want to show you how to turn these beautiful steaks here into sliders. And some people are like, why would you want to take such a beautiful steak and turn it into sliders? But here at baseball, people like eating things in their hands that they can hold a beer in and hold a slider in. So here's the perfect scenario right here. Let's first start off. I want to say thank you for purchasing the class, the virtual class. I want to let you know that everything's going to be easily taught to you. We're going to take our time. We're not going to move too fast. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. And always, you can push pause or whatever, or if you have any questions like this, go ahead in the chat room and talk to me, and I can answer you immediately. Let's start off with our ingredients. As mentioned before, we have our 2 steaks here. You will have 4 in your package that you picked up. And out these 2 steaks, we make 4 cuts. So if you have 4 steaks, you'll have 8 cuts. Here we have our Fresh Village Bread Bakery, another partner of ours. We get our bread from them. I get our hot dog buns, our sausage buns, we get our hamburgers, and we get our slider buns from the village. And they bake their products daily. So like again, fresh product is it's not like having a good bread and a good product. If you have the bread that's messed up, then the product is not good to go. So please make sure you always get some fresh bread. We have our French fried onions, we have our barbecue sauce, we have our oil for our searing, you have salt and pepper. Okay, let's get started. Look at these beauties right here. Here's these baseball cut steaks. And again, we're going to take our time, move slowly, so everyone can keep up. Make sure when you take your steaks out, I put this in the instructions beforehand, but I want to make sure you have your steaks out at least 20 minutes before we start the class, because as you see, you want to make sure that it rests in 20 minutes, because you want to make sure that when you do your seasoning, everything seeps in. And you also want to pat dry your steaks. Make sure there's not too much moisture on there. Okay guys, so here's one of the most important steps of the whole process. As mentioned before, I got to make sure the steaks are pretty much dry and it has rested out for 20 minutes. It's very important for that. So let me show you. I know it's a family project here, but I want to make sure that our daughter is handling the knife. Make sure, I got to show you our beautiful Jumbo Shrimp logo knife here. Make sure that you take your time when you're cutting. So your first cut, like right down the middle here, you measure. So this one steak can make 2 sliders. Take your other steak, take your time, grab it right down the middle. Easy cut. But make sure our daughter's doing this though. We don't want no 8-year-old trying to cut these steaks. Alright. So once you have your steak cut, you go ahead and you take some olive oil. Canola oil, olive oil, whatever oil is your preference, and you dab a little bit on there. Usually I rub this with my hand, so I want to better show y'all with a brush, so some of you might not feel comfortable doing it, but I rub the steaks with my hand. Just dab a little oil on it. Okay, flip your bad boys over. Dab a little more oil. Don't be afraid to use the oil on it. So people say, why do you put oil on the steaks before you season it? Well, first of all, it makes the salt and pepper sticks on it longer, and also it makes for a better, crispier crust when you sear it. So very important to use your oil. A lot of people say, I've been doing this for years, never put oil with my seasoning on it, but believe me, once you try, you see how much the difference the crust is. All right, so you got your old kosher salt here. Generous, put a lot of kosher salt on it. You don't have to be stingy with it. Believe me, you're not over seasoning it. It's not gonna be too salty. Steak takes a lot of salt. So generously amount of kosher salt here. You get that bad boy with your nice here king pepper shaker. Remember, generous amount. All right. Flip it over. Same process, take your time. Might be moving a little too fast for you guys, I apologize, but take your time. You can always go back, catch up as always. So season on the other side. Remember, a lot of salt. You'll be fine, the kosher salt. Steaks take more salt than maybe poultry or fish do. It absorbs it very well. So, for that good flavor, make sure. And finish off with this bad boy baseball bat again. Your pepper. This time you got your oil heating up, ready to start the searing. And there you go, guys. Go to the next step. So the next step is to oil your pan. Now you don't have to put too much oil in there as long as you have an even coat, light layer in your pan. I like using a cast iron pan. It holds the heat better. Any pan at home would do. Just make sure you have a medium to high heat. And also have your fan on. It can be real smoky. Smoky is good as long as it's controlled, but you get that good sizzling sound. Like if you don't have a sizzling sound when you lay your steaks down, it must mean that you have your heat high enough. So please make sure you have your heat high enough. Medium to high, please. All right, so pan pretty much hot now, but I brought my steaks over. I kind of want to see that little smoke come up a little bit before I put them in there to sear. Nice dry steaks. Remember, like I told you before, make sure you have them nice and dry before you season them. You don't want all that moisture in your steaks. It kind of inhibits the flavor from staying inside the steak. Also, make sure you turn your fan on. It's going to get smoky really quick here. So the rule of thumb is you want to have make sure you don't have a pan that's too big either, because if the more air you have around your steaks or shrimp or whatever you're searing, it just has uneven cooking. So make sure you have a small pan if you got not too much stuff to cook with it. So all right, so here you go. You see, I see some smoke come up here. So let's lay these in here and see what we hear that sizzling sound. That's the key right there. If you're hearing that, you halfway to the top, guys. So everyone's pan is different. Everyone has a different cooking element. So, you know, you can hear it from the sound. You can tell if it's cooking too fast, if it's cooking too slow. So I'm going to adjust mine a little bit. Normally on a whole steak, if you had a 2-inch steak, we would sear it and then put it in the oven. But what we're going to do here is sear it and cook it all the way on here. Typically, 3 to 4 minutes each side should be beneficial for it. Should be better for this. So set your timer in your head. But 3 to 4 minutes is the time for each side for these sliders. I don't know if you can see, but you can also look at the bottom of your steak and you can start seeing the browning coming up. A rule of thumb, a little trick for chefs, has like a 1/4 of an inch that comes up on the steak. You can tell when it's time to flip the steak back over. And as you can see, I have one of these steaks that's not as even cut as the others, so that would cook a little longer. So that will be the last one I flip over, so that can cook longer than these three. And we have a little lag time here, so I'm sure I'm gonna get some comments or some questions right now that we can discuss in these 2-3 minutes. And again, don't feel like anything is too silly of a question to ask. It may seem easy to me, but it may seem difficult to you, so please make sure you ask any questions. And by the way, my instructions today, like I mentioned earlier, is for a medium steak, so medium well. So like I said, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. But if you want to cook longer, if you want it less done, you can do 2 minutes each side. Another rule of thumb is only flip your steak one time. Don't flip it twice. Keep flipping and cheat to try to see how the other side is looking. That's when you mess your juices up and your flavor in your steak. I think I'm ready to make my first turn. So I always look to see what the smallest piece is, and that should be the first one you turn over. So you're cooking for 4 people. Each person might have their own different style of steak, so you can judge upon if someone want it medium, they want it well, they want it rare. Use your best judgment for that if you had that situation at your house. So once I make that flip for all of them, that's when you turn your heat down a little bit, because I want to cook these all the way. I'm not going to finish in the oven. A thicker steak, a bigger steak, you might want to finish in the oven and get that true temperature you want. But since these are sliders now that we turn into, we finish them the rest of the way on here. Now here's the butter. One technique, you know, they always tell you, finish with butter. Any cooking you can do, sauces, meats, whatever. You always like to finish with butter. It's an old trick technique that they always teach you in any cooking school, whatever. To finish with butter. It gives that enhanced flavor at the end. You can, you can whip your butter up to make with rosemary, with garlic. You can, with thyme, you can do anything with it. But here, I'm just doing a general butter pieces here to put on top. Get that final flavor juice to it. So I'm going to finish with butter here. I like a lot of butter, guys. I love butter. Butter plays flavor everything. You might cut yours a little thinner than mine, but like I said, I love putting butter on my steak. Let that ooze on there for a little bit. All right, guys, hard part is over. So, hey, let's get to it. I hope I answered all your questions. The easiest part is coming now. I want to make sure that we still continue to move slowly, so we won't leave no one behind. And continue to ask questions. Again, these steaks here are medium well type. If you want to cook them longer, you can cook them longer. If you want to throw them in the oven, if you want to finish it off, if you have it well done, perfectly fine, okay? But right now, we're going to move along to those who does like their steaks medium to medium well, to start building these. As mentioned before, here's our fresh sliders from Village Bakery. So just pull, they pull apart easily. So just take one and open it up. Lay it down. Of course, we're gonna have our Jumbo Shrimp Deli Wrap logo paper here. Everything is about our logo. We love our logo here at Jumbo Shrimp. I'm gonna take the biggest one. I'm a big guy, so I'm gonna take the biggest one, right? I'm gonna bite into this when we get done. All right, so I'm gonna put the first one right here. All right, that's the first step. Put the steak there. Look at that. It covers the whole, come on guys. Covers the whole bun here, okay? So then I'm gonna take my barbecue sauce and put it on the bread. Hey, why not put some on top of it too, right? Yeah, if you like barbecue sauce, you can put them on the bottom bun also, okay? All right, French fried onions, guys. All right, stomp it on there. Hey, you know what? That's why I try to be so neat. Just stomp it on there, right? What's the worst can happen? Okay, dump it on there. And there you go. Doesn't that look tasty right here? With the barbecue sauce, French fried onions. Hey, you guys don't mind if I take a bite with you, do you? This looks so good. Let me put it on here and take a bite so you can see. They got a nice color right down there. Good to go. All right, guys. We just got finished with those beautiful steaks. Hope you like that part of the cooking show. I'm excited about it. I love that bite. I'm still tasting it in my mouth. Nice flavor to it. This is the easier part of the class and also the most fun part of the class, I say. And so if you have kids, you want to play around with this together, especially when we build these potato skins up, I think it's a good idea. We like making these at my household. It's a good snack, good pairing with the sliders. That's why we put these two together, because it pairs wonderful with the sliders. But you can eat this by itself also. So you can use, here we have potato skins, home fried potato skins. It's frozen, but you can use kettle chips as well. In your box that we gave you is these actually. So it's a good product. I use these at my old job that I used to work at, and I brought the same concept here to the ballpark, and fans love it. Fans love it. A lot of them ask me when we walk around and say, hey, how'd you make these at home, chef? So that's why I thought it was important that we add this to this segment. But let's quickly talk about the ingredients that you have here. We had a good old salt and pepper again. Salt and pepper works wonders. Everybody just try to always do too many different things with things. Salt and pepper is your go-to, okay? Got your green onions, scallions, okay, tomatoes, blue cheese crumbles, balsamic glaze, okay? Basic ingredients, guys, for a fun item here. And let's get started. Pretty much you can use anything when you fry your French fries in at home, whatever you fry, your chicken nuggets, whatever. You use that part that you have. It can easily be used for this item. Again, you want it medium high. You don't want it too high because you'll overcook them real quickly. They won't get done inside. So make sure that you keep these items, your frozen potatoes, in the freezer until you're about to cook them, because you don't want them to start defrosting and get wet and then you start getting watery, because they add too much liquid to the grease and that creates another issue. Okay guys, I said it was a family fun cooking scenario here with this product, but make sure that adult is doing the actual frying of the potato chips, okay? Potato chips, home fried, kettle chips, whatever you want to call it. What we gave you is potatoes, so like I said, again, make sure someone who's before has had some frying experience, be the one who's actually frying the chips, okay? Because with grease, you can get, I need to say, it can be very dangerous. So there you go. So you gently put your chips in the oil. So you don't want to overcrowd it. So this is almost perfect here. You don't want to overcrowd your frying pan because you won't have even cooking. So I know a lot of you saying, hey chef, we don't have what's that? That's that cool spider thing you have over there. You don't necessarily have to have this. It's easy that we have in industrial kitchens. You can use tongs, you can use a perforated spoon, something that you have that's perforated so the grease can go through it. This is a cool gadget that we use here at the ballpark because we cook so much in bulk that it makes it easier for us. So don't be necessarily have to have this tool at your house. Like I said, again, you can have tongs, perforated spoon, anything that has a loose that the grease can come through it, so you can rotate your fries around. When I say fries, but potato chips, but when you get done with them, you're going to say, man, it's better than any fry that I had. So I want to turn mine up a little bit. See, there's no such thing as a perfect setting. So that's why you always have to have room to adjust when needed. I'm going to turn this up a little bit because I don't like how it sounds. I want to cook a little faster. Guys, this is how I like mine, golden brown. You may choose to take it out a little earlier, but also get you a liner, get your liner paper, put it on. You see at the house, you probably can have any pan or plate. Just make sure you have like paper towels before you put these down. You want to make sure you drain it very carefully. Because you don't want to be too greasy. And like I said, I like my chips a little darker. It's like that bite to it. You may want to choose to do yours a little lighter, which is fine. Like I said, ain't no wrong eating a raw potato, that's what you choose to do, or semi-raw potato. But like I said, the Hopkins household, we like ours a little bite to them, crispy bite like a chip. All right, here's the fun part, guys. Like I said, put it on a parchment paper at home. You got paper towels, put it on paper towels so you can drain the grease. Again, I like mine a little crunchy, a little bite to it. Take yours out like a minute earlier if you want a little, not so much of a bite. Make sure that the first step we do real quickly while the potato chips or the kettle chips are still hot, that you put your salt and pepper on it so they can stick. Very important, that'll be the first step you do. That way it can stick to your chips. All right? Then you mix these in together. They're gonna cool off by now, so they're gentle to the touch. All right. Make sure you wash your hands before you transfer over to these bad boys. All right. Now here's the fun part. This is the time when you call the kids in. Hey kids, come on, get in here. Let's mix these things together. The fun part of the whole scenario here. So you take our chips here and put them in the bowl. Any 2-year-old can do this part, 3-year-old. You can have your 16-year-old, 18-year-old, anyone come in and it's like, hey, let's just do something together, family time, right? So then you got the salt and pepper chips here. Now I have a bigger bowl here so I can use better to show you how to have more depth so you can actually see exactly what I'm doing. But you can use any bowl size that you prefer for your family size. Or you might be someone like me again that, hey, I can eat all this by myself. But so you start off, so you already got the salt and pepper on here, so don't need no more for the salt and pepper. So I start off with the blue cheese crumbles. Now you don't have to use blue cheese crumbles. If you like using ranch, you can any kind of dressing you like to use, but blue cheese crumbles is always a go-to for me. So let's sprinkle these bad boys on here. Right? Look at that. All right. Wipe your hands. Move to your next step. Little green onions. This is the most fun part of it all right here. Balsamic glaze. Make your little balsamic glaze, make your little diagram, draw a picture, smiley face, whatever you want to do. And you have it. Home fried potatoes here with your fun toppings. You can have bacon bits, you can add onions, red onions, you can add ham, you can add anything you want to your favorite chips. And here you go, guys. Enjoy. Let me take another bite of this too and see what's going on here. Love it. Thank you guys. I really appreciate. Hope you don't mind me talking to you while I eat these wonderful chips here. Really appreciate you person in class. Again, any feedback is welcome. Look forward to our next class coming up. Anticipate hear from you soon.